Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us as we delve into analysis of the data from constituent context with the City of Ottawa's incident case system between 2017 and 2019. Our goal is to uncover the narrative behind the patterns in time, geography, reason, and communication channels. We hope that our findings will shed light on how to better address constituent concerns, efficiently allocate resources in response to cases, and implement proactive measures. Next slide, please. To begin, let's take a broad look at the temporal and geographical distribution of the cases. As the graphs above illustrate, the number of case incidents generally corresponds with the population density across the 23 wards. A majority of cases originate from the downtown area, which has higher population densities. Radio Vanier district with the highest population density experienced the greatest number of cases. The time series graph below demonstrates that daily cases across the 3 years generally exceed minor fluctuations, averaging 846 cases per day. However, a notable peak on February the 5th, 2019 stands out, with cases surging to 4,383. This significant data point piques our interest and encourages further exploration of patterns within the data set in the hopes of resolving the underlying story. Next slide, please. To gain a deeper understanding of constituent concerns and address them more effectively, we investigate the reasons for the incident cases in our next step. The packed barrels graph on the left reveals that 3 primary reasons account for a substantial portion of the total. These are solid waste collection, road maintenance, and parking control. These reasons correspond to the city's functions for giving the responses, with roads and transportation, garbage and recycling being the most frequently addressed city functions. The graph on the bottom right presents the yearly case distribution for the top 3 reasons, showing that there is no significant improvement in any of the categories. Given the importance of these 3 primary reasons and their ongoing nature, we will examine each of them individually. Next slide, please. The leading reason for incident cases is solid waste collection. The heat map on the top left highlights that cases related to solid waste collection mostly occur during summer, from May to August. Organic solid waste collection, garbage solid waste collection, and retail or container are the top 3 subcategories. The bar graph on the lower left emphasizes the seasonality of the issue, as the comparison graph on the right indicates case distribution for this reason generally has an inverse relationship with population city density. Suburbs, particularly in the south, report more cases than the downtown area, with Behaven and Canada South being the most affected wards. We hope that these geographical and seasonal patterns offer valuable insights for addressing this primary issue. Now, hand over to Phyllis to introduce that 2 reasons.
Thank you, Jessie. And I will introduce the other 2 top 3 reasons. The second top 3 reason for the incident cases is the road maintenance. As we can see from this table here, a vast majority of road maintenance incident cases are related to the road traveled surface, while the other types constitute a much smaller proportion. From a temporal perspective, road maintenance indicates incidents are mainly concentrated in January and February, with February seeing the highest numbers. The pattern suggests a possible link to Ottawa's seasonal weather conditions. In terms of geography, there is no apparent concentration of road maintenance issues in specific areas, as they are universally prevalent. This fact highlights the importance of addressing road maintenance as a priority. And the third top 3 reason for the incident cases is parking control. The top 4 types of parking-related incident cases include overtime parking, designated parking, laneways, and no parking areas. When examining the temporal distribution, we see a relatively even spread throughout the year, with a slight increase in January and February, but no distinct peak or off-peak periods. with a slight geographically, the distribution of parking control incident cases correlates with the population density. By acknowledging the seasonal and geographical patterns of road maintenance incident cases, we can develop effective strategies to maintain safe and efficient roads. Similarly, recognizing the correlation between parking control incident cases and population density enables us to devise better parking management systems. Next, I will hand over to Wenyan to introduce her part.
Thank you, Huiqian. As Jessie mentioned earlier, we can see a peak in incidents on February 5th, 2019, which was due to road maintenance. Despite this explanation, we were still curious as to why it happened. After conducting further research, we found that it was due to a warm morning which caused slushy and slippery conditions, resulting in a tough commute and what we believe was an emergency in Ottawa. Moving on Moving on to the weekly incident distribution, we noticed that incidents were more frequent on the weekdays than on weekends, and the weekdays had a consistent pattern with 2 peaks in the morning and afternoon. In terms of channel breakdown, we observed that voice-in is still the primary channel, but we noticed an increasing trend in the usage of web and web channels. Next. And finally, we would like to offer some recommendations. Firstly, we suggest developing targeted strategy to address the top 3 reasons for incidents, which account for a significant proportion of overall incidents. Additionally, it's important to prepare for seasonal patterns by analyzing incidents patterns and staffing levels in advance to ensure that the city is well prepared to respond to increased demand during peak periods. And it's also crucial to develop emergency policies and projects to address emergency situations like the incidents on February 5th, 2019, to ensure that the city can respond quickly and effectively to emergency as they arise. Moreover, while voice-in remains an important channel for incident reporting, more emphasis should be placed on improving access to and usage of web and web channels. Developing strategies to increase the usage of these channels, making them user-friendly and accessible to all residents is recommended. Lastly, we recommend monitoring the effectiveness of new strategies and policies over time and evaluating their impact on incident patterns and channels. This information can be used to continuously improve and refine policies and strategies, ensuring that resources are being allocated effectively to address the needs of residents. Thanks for your listening.